and welcome to Shop Under the Oaks. Today we're going to talk about the new Bauer 14-inch bandsaw. Just came out about a week or two ago at Harbor Freight. You are allowed to use the big coupons, 15, 20, 25% off coupons to purchase this item. Prices are probably going to be changing here in the near future. Who knows what they are going to be in the next couple of days. But anyway, the coupons are valid for all of that. Assembly of the unit was pretty straightforward. Basically, all I had to do was put the base together and attach it to the unit. The only thing that you got to watch out for, and it's not a big thing, is just there's two legs out of the four that have pads on the bottom. They need to go to the back side of the unit to this riser right here. So basically what you get with the unit is you get one blade, it's a 1/2-inch blade. You get a rip fence, and you also get a miter gauge. Now the miter gauge is not all that good, but it's a standard slot, so you can pretty much grab the miter gauge off your bandsaw or an aftermarket, whatever you want to do. The little rip fence that comes with it is pretty much dead on, but it does not have any adjustments for backwards and forwards. But I put it on, played with it a little bit, and it's basically dead on accurate. Towards the end of this video, we're going to do a rip cut on a piece of walnut, and you'll see I've added actually a resaw fence to this. It's just a little homemade jewel. Works great. This is not a production quality saw in the mindset of you're running this thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is a hobby level saw, but the upper end of hobby level, in my opinion. I've been looking for bandsaws for a couple months, and I was kind of looking at $1,700 to $2,000. Well, when this thing came out for the price that it came out for, I was like, well, we'll check it out and see. And I have been thoroughly impressed with it. It does a really good job for the things that I need it to do. It only has an 8-inch resaw capacity, which is plenty for my needs, and most hobby level shops, I feel like that's probably going to be all you really need. So if you're like me, you've got a small shop. I mean, it's not a huge building I've got here, so I was looking for a relatively smaller saw that would do what I needed it to do. With that being said, the footprint on the saw is 30 inches by 23 inches. And the measurement from the very top of this knob to the ground is 68 inches. So if you're trying to tuck it in under some shelvings and stuff like that, it's going to work great for you. The table itself is 15.5 inches by 21 inches. And it is a solid, and I mean solid, heavy-duty cast iron table. The blade is 100 inches, and it's got a cut capacity between the blade and the riser of 13 3/8 inches. Now you will notice that the riser is a one-piece system, and it is a welded beam. This thing is really highly welded inside. They did a really good job with all the welds on the machine. I checked it out. Every weld that I found on this machine is jam on. But just keep in mind, you won't be able to add the riser kits to it. So it is what it is, and this is all you got, and it's actually a very good saw. It comes with a 1 horsepower 120 motor, which has not caused me any kind of problems in the little things that I've done. Now, the thing to keep in mind is with any bandsaw, you can choke it down. Any of the lower, if you get from a $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 bandsaw, yeah, you're not going to choke that thing down. But any of these little smaller saws, you can choke them down if you overfeed the materials. So a few things we'll go over. This is your tensioning knob up here. You actually have a blade release lever on the back side of the machine. Let's turn it around here. Blade release handle right here, so you can just release the pressure when you're not using it, so you're not stressing out your blades. And when you're adjusting your tension, you actually have a little viewfinder here that shows you a nice little color graph on the inside. You probably can't see it too well in the video, but in this right here, you got yellow, green, and red. You just want to tension it to where you're in the green at all times. There we go. On the front of the machine, this knob here is a locking knob in the middle, but the outside one is what gives you your adjustment up and down for your guides. Now, one thing that is good about this saw is it's got sealed bearing guides, top and bottom. They're easily adjustable with thumb screws. So there's, just a little thumb screw action, and you're good to go. Get them adjusted. Now the one that the blade runs on that you push into, it's adjusted with an Allen wrench. That's just so they don't have to have a lot of stuff back here to interfere with what you're doing. Okay. The unit actually does have a 4-inch dust collection on the back side of the saw, on this back side over here. But on the lower side, inside, there's also a catch tray for anything that you're not, your dust collection isn't picking up. Very simple. You just release back here, take your fences off, your rip fence, and you remove this front guide. It's got 4 wing nuts underneath there. It just slides off. You don't even have to take them out. You just got to loosen them up. There's a little pin, a leveling pin right here that keeps the 2 sides of the table equal at all times. And then the blade just slides off, slide a new one back on, attach the fence, you're good to go. And everything is pretty well thought about when they come up with the way that they're going to change out the fence and stuff. It also has a indexing pin back here that's adjusted with an Allen wrench. And speaking of Allen wrenches, you're set 4 Allen wrenches with the unit. There's actually a holder built into the back side of the saw that holds the Allen keys. So you don't have to worry about them, they're always there. It actually holds the miter gauge along with the Allen keys right there. And you also have a little push stick they sent with it, which is nice. Stand your safety on and off switch right there. The table has, as I mentioned before, an indexing pin for bringing it back to 0. It also has an indexing pin underneath that is attached to the trunnion that is designed to let you go 45 degrees, and you can set that pin where you just constantly go directly to 45, back to 0. There is a gauge on the other side, but I don't trust the gauges. I'd rather use the pins, and also use, if I'm trying to find a degree somewhere that's not exactly 45 or 0, then I use an angle finding gauge. That's just my personal preference. Everybody kind of does it their own way. It's all good. I will say a couple things that did not come with the saw that would have been nice is a small resaw fence. Not a big deal. Just got a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Use the Microjig clamps and the little router bit they give you. And if you can make your own little resaw fence, no worries. The big thing that it didn't come with is a light. Now, for I don't know how much I paid for it. I'll throw a link in the description for this light. And the reason I bought this particular light is it's got a magnetic base that you can switch on and off. And the neat thing about it is I can actually use it as a stop for anything that I'm doing. I was cutting out some toe kicks earlier, and I was able to set this for my, where I wanted to stop, and it's a magnetic. So it's just 2-for-1 type of deal. But for this little thing we're going to do, we'll just set it here, turn it on, and we'll get some light going so we can see what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of walnut. Looked it up, and this piece of walnut's what, 1010, about 1,000 on the Jenkins scale. So I mean, it's not super hard, but it's definitely not pine. So we'll see what the saw can do. We'll run it through, and we're just going this is 6 inches. So I still got another 2 inches I could go, but a 6-inch little resaw with a piece of walnut. And keep in mind, we are using the stock blade that came with it. This is not a resaw blade. I'll put in the description, Timberwolf has actually got a 3-pack of blades to fit this saw. We'll throw it in the description for you, somewhere in the $80 to $90 range. But that's 3 blades. I mean, so you're getting the 1/4 blade, the 1/2 blade, and the 3/4 resaw. Because 3/4 is as big as this thing will take. Alrighty, so let's go see what we can do with it. So as you can see, it cuts right through. I let it blow out on me. I wasn't holding it quite like you should be doing, but it was covered just fine. So I've actually ripped up several pieces of this walnut earlier today. I was building another project. So all in all, I don't think you can go wrong with this saw. provided you understand what it can do, what it's designed to do. And it is a hobby level, upper tier hobby level saw. It beats anything that they've ever put out before. I've had one of the older central pneumatic saws, and that thing, man, was a nightmare. It just would not do anything, stalled all the time. This saw is actually a 2-speed saw, and it comes from the factory in low speed. And then I guess if you want to cut like bandsaw boxes or whatever, you put a quarter blade on it, you can speed it up so you can make those tighter cuts. But it's a V-drive belt, and the adjustments on the front of the machine just loosen it up, jump over to the other set of pulleys. And the good thing that they've done is they've actually give you like little pictures of different things to tell you how to do things and what things are supposed to work and do like. Let's see if we can see right. So you got a little diagram that tells you, okay, what you need to do and what not to do. But there's always that question. And there's your, see, there's the pulleys back there. It is what it is. So basically, if you're looking for a nice hobbyist saw that will do pretty much anything you're going to want to do in a hobby shop, this is the one to get. Plenty of power, a lot of capacity, and you can definitely add on additional things to the saw. Again, I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I'm glad I waited and didn't buy, because like I said, I was looking at a couple other manufacturers and I just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. And then when this one popped up, I went and checked it out. I said, yeah, I'll give it a try. Worst case scenario, I can always sell it and buy the other one. But yeah, it's an awesome little saw. And the base, I don't know if I completely mentioned it or not, but it is a rolling base. So all you got to do is, it comes with a kick down wheel. You basically just set it and kick it down and move where you want to move it. You're good to go. So hopefully you guys have a good day, and hopefully this helped you a little bit in your buying decision. So y'all have a good one until next time.